Black Friday is a holiday horror comedy set in a quaint small-town toy store during Thanksgiving night which intertwines sharp critiques of consumer culture with a chaotic alien invasion. The narrative revolves around a group of overworked retail employees led by Ken, a weary divorcee and father who reluctantly leaves his daughters for the Black Friday sales event. The team comprises Chris, a naive and overly polite younger employee, Marnie, a smart and reliable co-worker with whom both men share an undercurrent of romantic tension, the sarcastic slacker Brian, and Archie, the dependable handyman. The story is initiated in the stillness of Thanksgiving morning as the staff of We Love Toys prepares for the impending chaos of Black Friday. Jonathan, the store manager, epitomizes the corporate obsession with efficiency, pushing his team to maintain smiles and enthusiasm amid the frenzied crowds. His relentless focus on hitting sales targets often grates on the employees' nerves. Just before the store opens, a meteor crashes nearby, releasing a dark spore-like organism that infects shopper Monty, leading to his grotesque transformation into a horrifying creature. When the store opens, the anticipated chaos instead comes from the sudden monstrous transformations of shoppers. As panic ensues, Monty and other infected customers morph into slimy tentacled hazards targeting the staff and causing chaos. With one employee killed and fear escalating, the team manages to retreat to the back of the store and barricade themselves while trying to comprehend the unfolding horror. Conflict arises between Ken and Jonathan regarding their next steps. Ken advocates for exiting the store while Jonathan insists on sticking to protocol. As tensions simmer, Chris struggles emotionally but finds reassurance in Marnie's composed leadership. This internal discord exacerbates as more monstrous figures breach the store's barriers. The employees face a grave choice: hunker down in safety or risk an escape. As the situation deteriorates, they observe that the infected are merging, evolving into a gigantic, formidable alien entity that grows stronger by assimilating people and objects. The group divides to gather supplies and scout for escape routes. In a tragic turn, Brian is infected while on one such excursion and, realizing he can't escape, sacrifices himself to ensure the others have a chance. The film skillfully juxtaposes the absurdity of holiday shopping frenzy with the peril of a horror-filled alien invasion, offering a darkly humorous reflection on consumerism and its consequences. Jonathan experiences a breakdown, admitting to his misery in retail and revealing that his loyalty was merely an act. This revelation leads to a heroic moment where he sacrifices himself to buy time for Ken, Chris, and Marnie as they battle mutated shoppers. As they navigate the store's stockroom, they come to the alarming realization that the alien organism plans to use the building as a base to spread its influence, threatening to consume humanity from the epicenter of consumer culture. In a striking visual sequence, the grotesque alien creature emerges from a pile of debris, including discarded toys and mannequins resembling a twisted holiday float. With desperation rising, the remaining survivors launch a counteroffensive. Archie devises a plan to rig the building with propane tanks, aiming to blow it up to prevent the hive mind from evolving and escaping. Ken steps up to confront the final creature in a brave effort to buy time for the others. He delivers a passionate speech that critiques the insanity of consumer culture and the horrors associated with Black Friday before triggering the explosion. The ensuing chaos engulfs the building in flames, resulting in the aliens' obliteration. Emerging from the wreckage, Ken, Chris, and Marnie, though battered, are alive, standing before the smoldering remains of We Love Toys. They are filled with a mix of sorrow for their fallen colleagues and relief at their newfound freedom. As dawn breaks, they walk together into the sunrise, reflecting on how the true horror of the holidays lies not in the monsters they faced but in the oppressive nature of the retail world itself. Black Friday employs traditional horror elements, mutations, hive minds, and relentless monsters as allegories for rampant consumerism. It sharply critiques corporate practices that treat workers as disposable in the relentless pursuit of profit, especially during high-pressure sales events. The characters initially come off as caricatures but develop depth throughout the film, particularly Ken, whose transformation from a distant father to a courageous leader serves as the emotional backbone of the story. With a blend of humor and gore reminiscent of films like Shaun of the Dead and Slither, Black Friday manages to juxtapose comedic moments such as awkward romance and sarcastic exchanges with genuine horror, maintaining a balance that heightens the stakes. Although the film doesn't take itself too seriously, it offers a sharp commentary on holiday shopping hysteria. Ultimately, Black Friday 2021 is a raucous fusion of horror, science fiction, and comedy, layering themes of camaraderie, sacrifice, and the lengths individuals will go to protect each other during crises. While lampooning capitalism and corporate culture, it also celebrates the resilience of ordinary people who, despite feeling undervalued, find the inner strength to fight back. Black Friday presents a darkly comedic horror tale set during America's chaotic shopping day, focusing on a group of harried toy store employees facing an unexpected crisis. As they braced for what should be the busiest retail day of the year, an alien horror manifests, transforming desperate shoppers into lethal mutants, forcing the staff to fight for their survival. The narrative kicks off on Thanksgiving night with Ken Bates, a beleaguered single father. He drops his daughters off at their mother's house before heading to his overnight shift at We Love Toys. Accompanied by his best friend Chris, Ken shares the same bleak outlook about spending the holiday serving intrusive customers. Their manager Jonathan Wexler is preoccupied with corporate policies and profit margins, neglecting the well-being of his team. As the night unfolds, a meteor crashes near the store, releasing a mysterious substance that triggers an infection in some shoppers. One infected individual becomes a grotesque monster and attacks Monty, the janitor on duty. This incident marks the beginning of a horrifying metamorphosis as more customers mutate into ferocious tentacled creatures. Unaware of the catastrophe unfolding outside, tensions rise among the store's employees. Ken feels trapped in his dissatisfaction with life. Chris wrestles with his shyness and unspoken affections for their co-worker Marnie. Marnie expresses frustration at being overlooked for her potential. Archie, the vigilant security guard, strictly adheres to his duties, while Brian, the comic relief, aims to survive the chaos. As the store opens to a throng of ravenous shoppers, the entry of the mutated individuals showcases an escalating nightmare. The infection spreads swiftly among customers, turning them into formidable foes who seem to communicate and develop a hive mind. The employees, realizing they are under siege, retreat and barricade themselves inside as Wexler's refusal to call for help ultimately leads to his gruesome fate. With escape seeming impossible and communication cut off, the remaining employees devise a plan to reach the loading dock, only for it to be thwarted by the increasingly formidable creatures. Realizing that they need weapons and supplies, the team scours the store and begins to unveil critical details about the infection. It is not random violence but a calculated invasion, possibly originating from outer space, prompted by the meteor crash. In a gripping mix of chaos, camaraderie, and sheer survival instincts, Black Friday captures the peril faced by ordinary people amidst an extraordinary and horrific invasion, challenging their resilience and decision-making in unprecedented circumstances. New terror emerges, suggesting that the horror is far from over. As Ken, Chris, and Marnie stumble away from the destruction, they are haunted by the memories of their fallen friends and the monstrous ordeal they just endured. Ken, feeling the weight of his past failures, grapples with a mix of guilt and relief, knowing that their survival came at a terrible cost. Chris, emboldened by the events, begins to see the value of love and connection amidst chaos. His admission of feelings toward Marnie now carries more weight, and while the moment was overshadowed by tragedy, it sparks a flicker of hope for a future together. Marnie too is changed by the night's harrowing events, discovering resilience she didn't know she possessed. The trio holds on to each other, reminded that even in the darkest times, human connection can provide a flicker of light. However, as they venture into the post-apocalyptic dawn, they realize the external horrors have merely begun. The world outside the store is eerily quiet but filled with the remnants of a society that has fallen apart. The landscape is littered with evidence of chaos, abandoned cars, shattered storefronts, and the distant echoes of what appears to be more infected beings. The survivors' sense of hope mingles with dread as they acknowledge that their fight for survival is just beginning. In the aftermath of their desperate plan, the trio faces the daunting task of navigating this new reality. Every corner turned feels dangerous, and trust becomes a precious commodity. As they decide their next move, a chilling realization sinks in: the infection's mutating nature may have spread beyond the store and into the surrounding area. The implications of this reality weigh heavily on their shoulders as they push forward. The narrative leaves readers pondering the fate of humanity, the fragility of life, and the resolve to cling to hope despite overwhelming odds. The survivors, now bonded through shared trauma, must confront not just the external horrors of mutation and infection but also their own personal demons and the complexities of their relationships. Amidst despair, they share quiet moments, revealing that even in the darkest hour, bonds may strengthen and the seeds of hope can take root in the hearts of those who dare to dream of a better future, a future that will require courage and solidarity in the face of relentless adversity. As the sun rises, the journey ahead remains uncertain, but together they find the strength to face whatever lies beyond the ashes of their past. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.